Oh, did you clever? Just like Ariel. Trick or treat. It's very annoying. I'm just teasing you, adorable. Let me so neat. I see a strong, confident, beautiful young lady. Oh, you too. Oh, great. Now I'm the bad guy. Yes, you there. What are you wearing? I simply must have it. Who's seen the puppet? Have you? Oh, darling, who tricked you into wearing that? Since the apple in the brew, wicked wishes all come true. Ghosts and ghouls in the night, summon forth your screams of fright. Look at you fools, the potion's ready. Pour and you shall break the curse.
The spookiness is upon us, isn't it? Hey, everybody, Wait for the Kingdom Report here. And you know we love rewarding you for watching or listening to this show. All you got to do to win your very own copy of my new book, Stand Alone, The Walt Disney Way, is leave the phrase that pays underneath this video right after the live show is over. So head on over to the Kingdom Report on YouTube, and after the live show is done, leave the comment Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is the phrase that pays this week. Yeah, between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time in which to enter, if you are the winner, we will reach out to you and get this book shipped your direction, all by entering Sleeping Beauty in the comment section beneath this video after the live show. Or you can get your copy of Stand Alone, The Walt Disney Way right now on Amazon. And on today's show, we are talking how Tron finally has dropped its virtual queue at Magic Kingdom. We're remembering Disney legend James Earl Jones as he has passed away. Walt Disney World is moving marine life out of the Finding Nemo attraction at Epcot. Disney has slashed the Aspire education benefit for cast members and just can't understand it. We are going to talk about that too. And getting married on a Disney cruise ship. What's it like? We've got all the details for you next.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Your Disney family is here, and we couldn't be happier that you are part of our weekend. Thank you for allowing us to be part of yours as we kick off another Kingdom Report Live right here from the Warner Brothers Studios Media District, beautiful Burbank, California, where finally it's not 107 degrees anymore. In fact, it feels like fall just a little bit out there. A beautiful weekend in Southern California. So glad you could be with us. I'm Wade Heath, alongside the lovely one, our theme park travel agent extraordinaire. She goes by the name of Katrina Manzoni.
Hi, everybody. Oh, my gosh. Welcome.
Oh.
We're finally back.
We are finally
I know.
back. Minnie
Gosh.
Mouse, too, I heard there
And
in the
Minnie Mouse,
background.
yeah.
She's joined us also. Always a real treat to have you with us. Obviously,
you.
your better half, Tyler Crouch, on the campaign trail, still
promoting.
striving
Yep.
to become Disney CEO.
Yep. He's almost there. He's so close.
Get out the vote.
Yeah.
Tyler Crouch for CEO of
Just
Walt Disney
one
Company.
more foot in the door. You
One
know,
more foot in the
just
door.
one more.
Back-to-back campaign events, that guy. I don't know how he does
He's
so many
exhausted,
speeches.
yeah.
He pulls it off still to this day.
But he has those beautiful eyes and the beautiful smile, and
Oh.
that's what works.
That's, the charm alone
Yeah.
wins hearts and minds. That's our Tyler Crouch. Yes. Well, we couldn't be more grateful that you took time out of your weekend to be right here as we return live for another edition of the Kingdom Reports. We are always so grateful anytime we get to come to you live. I know we take breaks in between. We have day jobs and lives and times where people can't be here. We do everything we can to be here on a weekend for you because I think, and I'm not speaking out of turn when I say this, I think, this is one of my favorite things to do in life.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, one of my favorite
I woke up
things
this
to
morning
do.
and I was like, I finally live.
You finally live.
I finally can
You're
live
alive.
again.
Oh my gosh. Michael Eisner likes to stop by on occasion and wish us well, greet us, if you will. That's what he does when he.
Hello.
Michael, good to see you. As always, an endorsement by the former CEO of Disney makes a big difference in
Huge.
a place like this. And if you didn't hear, let me tell you, back after a 4-month-long
It's a very long
hiatus, I don't know.
I didn't even know he still existed.
The guy who the last time we saw him, he was getting married. And now he has returned to us here today. Reporter Golden Goose Garrett Hassel back with us once again. Good to see you, my friend.
Hi,
Wow.
everyone. So good to see you. Great to see you. Since Tyler can't be here, I thought I would, show out wearing, the Hawaiian, relaxed t-shirt and everything like that. So good to be back. I've been traveling, seeing the world, trying to, I've been along the campaign. When Tyler's on, I'm off.
Oh, was that
So
it?
if he's in the studio, I'm out campaigning for him. I'm trying to get
That's so
him
sweet.
Wow.
in that executive chair to make the decisions we need, which are what? New attractions that are non-IP related. That's right. That's
Yes,
the main
here.
That's the main point of his campaign, like Crouch 2025.
Yep.
Stumping for Crouch.
Here we go.
That's what we said.
So
And
close.
yeah, like he thought about growing out a mustache. I talked him out of that. I said,
Thank you.
leave that to Walt. You
Yep.
keep doing what you're doing with the Hawaiian.
You're better
It's a
clean
different
shaven,
time.
Tyler. Right.
Thank you very much
Yeah.
for that.
You got
Yeah.
that right. Well, we couldn't
You're
be
welcome.
more thrilled that you are back with us. I know on the last episode where Katrina and I came together, we witnessed a video that had been sent in by a viewer who caught you frolicking, I guess is the right word, frolicking from one side of a baseball stadium to another in the heart of Texas. You had wings on and
Yeah.
you were throwing ribbons around. What was happening there?
So, as you folks know, I love A Bug's Life, especially Heimlich. R.I.P. his choo-choo train.
Yeah.
And I wanted to become a beautiful butterfly. I had beautiful wings, and I was down in Austin, Texas, and I was celebrating my buddy Austin. He is getting married, and it was Austin and Austin. That was the ongoing joke. And we were at a baseball game, and they said, "Hey, friends, we need some people to come do some stuff." And everyone in the group nominated me to do the dance off. I had to do it because, as you know, I'm very. I don't do well in front of crowds.
Right.
I'm very
Absolutely
shy.
not. I understand.
So I went up there and I was like, "Hey, what song are you doing?" They're like, doing "Chariots of Fire" from the movie Old School, and I'm like, "Okay, let's do this." And so I was like trying to flap my wings and everything like that. And I at first put the wings on under my shirt, and I was going to do a huge reveal. But the moment I did that, the strap broke from my mouth's muscles, and then I just had to make do with one wing. But you know what? I flew like a butterfly, and I got stung by bees.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you got
No,
stung.
but
You did well.
it was magical. I got a ton of free Whataburger sandwiches afterward.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah, hey, yeah, like the grease was delicious, but no, it was good times, amazing memories. Yeah, we filmed it from multiple angles, and it was a good time. Yeah.
I may have
didn't-
frolicked
no
with you.
rehearsal, no rehearsal, just completely perfect without rehearsal.
You're one take Garrett, they call you.
It's true.
That's
why you're the golden
what they
goose.
say. Dancing at baseball games, knocking down little girls' hula hoops. That is part of my resume.
Never forgets.
Never
right on
forget.
this show in front of Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. This man back in the day
She had
knocked
it
a
coming.
child's hula hoop right out of commission as he tried to do his own hula hooping experience.
stare.
And, yeah, a death stare
Hurt
that we
us
got
all.
from that little girl.
But you know what? She didn't know she was standing in front of stardom.
Yeah, clearly. Right.
Mhm.
Well,
She doesn't know. She doesn't know where I'm from.
No.
no. We are so glad that you could be back with us, too, as we kick off this edition of Kingdom Report Live. Obviously, we can't get to the news and events of the day until we raise a glass for a toast. It is time for the show toast, in which we honor someone. I believe Garrett Hassel has the honor this week, so if you've got a cup, grab it like so, hold it in the air. Garrett, what or whom are we toasting?
Hold your chalice high, everyone.
Oh.
I'm actually using the Fairy Tale Weddings from the Disney
Product
Cruise
placement.
Line. Heyo.
Nice.
Yeah, product placement right there.
Yeah.
It's actually part of my little segment about the contractual obligations I've been. But no, I'm actually going to be toasting to my friends of the Kingdom Report, just like you, Wade and Katrina. I love this show so much, and I miss getting to hang out with you more. But I promise I'll be hanging out with you very, very soon. So to Wade, Tyler, Katrina, Tony, and all our other friends that join us, cheers to you and our amazing friendship and the magic we give. So yeah, cheers to the
Aw.
Kingdom Report team.
Yay.
Cheers. Oh,
When
congratulations.
you said Tony's name, he blushed so hard. You could just see it. Like it's just radiating right now.
He did. I can feel it. I can feel it through the screen. Yeah.
The reddest of red.
Yeah.
He
Is
is
what that
he
man
is
turned.
Bashful the dwarf, indeed.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that stirring toast. Nothing like a self-serving toast to all of
true.
us to really kick off a show
I
right.
mean, we are.
Listen, I've been gone
great
for 4
people.
years. I missed you guys.
Yeah, you haven't gone a while. It's great to have you.
true.
Great to have you in a return.
Believe me, it breaks my heart every week, and I see you guys. I'm like, I can't be there.
Sure. As you frolic at your baseball games, we know what takes priority around here. This guy. But we do have lots of Disney news headlines to get you caught up on. Therefore, we always like to do so in a segment we call the Disney News Review. Let's go. Disney News Review time, taking a look at some of the biggest stories from across the Walt Disney Company in the past week. Starting at Disney World, WFTV9 reporting that this past week, Tron Light Cycle Run at Magic Kingdom began not having a virtual queue system. For once, the park said the ride has started using a standby queue or a Lightning Lane single pass experience as of this past Monday. Tron was limited to a virtual queue system that manages the high demand for the ride. Guests had to join the virtual queue at set times throughout the day to reserve a spot, and the system allowed the park to control the crowd levels and reduce wait times. Over at Epcot, some beloved friends at Walt Disney World will be moved from the Seas with Nemo and Friends and into new homes, according to WESH2 News. They said in a memo sent to cast members and WESH2, Disney says Lou the Manatee is moving to another manatee rehabilitation center in Florida beginning this past week, saying, quote, soon after that, we will receive one other manatee to be a companion with Lil Joe, the other manatee currently in our care. This is being done as part of a broader set of manatee moves around the state recommended by the MRP and USFWS, which directs and manages the rehabilitation and conservation of manatees throughout Florida. In addition to moving Lou from the Seas with Nemo and Friends, Disney announced plans to permanently relocate 3 dolphins in late October to the Gulfarium Marine Adventure Park in Florida, which is accredited by the Alliance of Marine Mammal Parks and Aquariums and the International Marine Animals Trainers Association. Disney says the facility is led by a marine mammal expert who cared for the dolphins for years at the Seas. Saying, quote, this decision came after a comprehensive evaluation as to what is best for these dolphins as infrastructure work progresses at the Seas. Through the extraordinary care from our team, these 3 male dolphins have thrived and led long lives, and we will continue to be a resource while they receive the best possible care after they are moved, the company said. Disney says its plans to honor pre-booked guests for Dolphins in Depth and Dive Quest experiences through October 19th. Disney expects Dive Quest to return in 2025. Sadly, Disney legend James Earl Jones, the voice behind the iconic characters Darth Vader and Mufasa, passed away Monday, September 9th, surrounded by family at his home in Dutchess County, New York, a rep for the actor confirmed. He was 93 years old. From the gentle wisdom of Mufasa to the menacing threat of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones gave voice to some of the greatest characters in cinema history, said Bob Iger, CEO of the Walt Disney Company, adding, a celebrated stage actor with nearly 200 film and television credits to his name, the stories he brought to life with a uniquely commanding presence and a true richness of spirit have left an indelible mark on generations of audiences. On behalf of all of us at Disney, we extend our deepest condolences to his family and loved ones, close quote. In other unfortunate news, KTLA reports an avid runner and Disney TikTok creator died on Sunday after completing Disneyland's Halloween half marathon amid a heat wave in Southern California. Around 7 a.m. Sunday, 35-year-old Bobby Graves, who went by his middle name Caleb, crossed the finish line while clutching his chest. A volunteer caught him before he collapsed, Anaheim Police Sergeant Matt Sutter told the LA Times. In a TikTok video posted one day before his death, Graves recounted passing out from heat exhaustion after going outside to walk his dog, saying, I really hope I get through the race tomorrow morning. Sutter told the Times that Graves had no medical conditions before his unexpected death, and the coroner's office is still investigating the cause of his cardiac arrest. Disneyland spokesperson Jessica Good said, "We are deeply saddened by this tragic loss, and our hearts are with Caleb's family and loved ones during this difficult time." Close quote. And finally, Orange County Register reports Disneyland employees may soon have to pay thousands of dollars a year for a free college education program the Anaheim theme park dangled as a job perk to prospective hires. Disneyland has announced plans to update the Disney Aspire Educational Assistance Program that will introduce funding caps on tuition reimbursement and eliminate graduate studies and trade programs. Previously, the Disney Aspire program covered 100% of tuition, fees, and books at network schools for full-time and part-time hourly Disneyland employees. Disney continues to evolve the Aspire program to meet the needs of its business and cast members, according to a Disney spokesperson. The Disney Aspire program will continue to offer access to undergraduate degrees, high school equivalency diplomas, and English language learning classes. Disney also offers its employees a variety of hands-on training and career development opportunities. Disneyland will fully fund the education of employees in the Aspire program through November 27th, and then cap tuition reimbursement at $5,250 per year. Disneyland employees currently enrolled in Masters and Trades programs can continue with their studies, but new students won't be able to enroll in the programs. The IRS lets employers deduct $5,250 annually per employee as a business expense for educational assistance programs without owing any federal payroll taxes. Any employee assistance above that is taxable as wages. The funding cuts mean employees will need to manage their course loads to match the funding caps, cut back on the number of classes per semester, or pay for uncovered tuition. Disneyland employees who exceed their annual funding cap will be responsible for paying the uncovered out-of-pocket fees and will be billed directly by their individual university. Disneyland has used the promise of fully paid associate, bachelor's, and master's degrees as a hiring incentive for new cast members. And when it comes to things like the Aspire program at Disney, certainly it is a major perk, a huge benefit for hourly cast members, and has been sold as such for many of new cast members that have come into the company in the last few years. This is one of those unfortunate things that I just cannot understand why the company would go cutting at this point in time. I know in reading the story and hearing it, it sounds like there is a cap now for the sake of payroll taxes and taxes in general that ultimately would need to be paid, but it doesn't sound like that's something that's new. So I don't know that that is the true excuse here. It's just happening all of a sudden. If anybody else understands the true reason why, I would love to hear it, because it doesn't really add up to me. At any rate, Garrett, when it comes to restricting a perk like this, what does that mean for cast members' overall compensation, and how could this impact Disney Parks' hiring efforts in the near future?
So with them essentially taking back what this amazing gift that they gave to cast members, which is the gift of education and growing themselves, it hurts a lot, especially as a cast member, because I've known so many people that will do the Disney College program, and then they're like, "Hey, you know what? Like, why don't I move down to Florida, and then I'll just go to UCF, or I'll go to Valencia, or one of the other colleges that are associated with this program." And they're like, "Know what? I've now got this great company backing me, and I'm proud of where I go." And when they just remove it without really any deeper explanation, as you've expressed, they were then sort of like, I just got short sheeted. I'm putting 40 hours in to Disney, and now I'm only getting, like $5,000 to work with. And if you're at Cal State Fullerton, that pays for a book or two, not even a full semester. At UCF, it pays for a little bit more because it's slightly cheaper to go to school out there. But you're just taking one of the perks away. In a way, it's similar to like, hey, you've got healthcare, but we're actually going to be taking a portion of that away. And when you're working for a powerful company like Disney, the more perks, the better, because you spend so much time and effort with the guests, getting, whether it's talked to, yelled at, or just dealing with the stress of all that. You want to have some added benefit that it's sort of a benefit and cost analysis in your mind, where it's like, okay, I'm going to work here and I'm not going to get this anymore. It makes you less likely to be like, man, like, I'll stay with Disney, but maybe I'll start looking for other places too, just because some people join Disney just for the perks associated with it. Like if Disney were to say something as crazy as like, "Hey, we're going to take away, your access to the parks completely, and you can only go, a few weeks in the year, not like how it is right now where it's sort of scattered," that would be detrimental. So for them to do something like this and removing some of the educational aspect to it, it hurts a lot. And when you have a team that is not as educated, they're not as able to assess problems that could happen in the park, grow within the company, and then better themselves, their community, and those around them. So I'm a huge proponent for higher education, and it really is sort of like a black eye on Disney to them to do this without any deeper explanation. I want them to go further in as to like, hey, we're doing this for X, Y, Z. Here's the thing, but Disney doesn't have to do that because they're Disney. So it really, really hurts. And I feel for the cast members out there because I've known several that were at UCF and they were working, 32 plus hours at Disney. And they'd be like, hey, like this whole thing is, Disney's helped me out. It's really nice. And now it's sort of like Disney gave me a scholarship instead of what they gave me before, which was almost a full ride. So it stinks. And I'm hoping that Disney will have some better plan made up in the long run because this really does stink. And school is only getting more and more expensive, so anything that can help you as a student is always good, but this just hurts a lot.
I can smell it. It does stink.
It does stink.
It does stink.
Hate you.
I'll tell you, I was a part of Disney's recruiting arm when this got rolled out. This was sold as one of the greatest things to ever come from the Walt Disney Company for the sake of hourly employees at the organization. This was sold as something that could truly be that crown jewel of attracting talent and bringing people into the organization. And so we sold it as such, as, hey, look, you want a degree, we'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Come on in, work here. And in a way, it always felt to me like, all right, I think mainly this program got rolled out because the likelihood that everybody's going to follow through and go into a degree program, right, probably very slim.
Yeah.
And I used to think on the surface, it was like, wow, this is probably a huge mega investment by the organization. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, it's probably not that big of an investment.
Yeah. Working 40 hours a week plus classes, I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the likelihood that somebody really follows through the entire way probably slim. But those who did, and there have been many,
right,
have managed to come out on the other side far better off and with whole educations paid for by the company. I was celebrating the Aspire program when it was new because I thought, what a beautiful thing to do, especially in an industry where for hourly employees, they really don't make that much.
Yeah.
Especially for Southern California comparisons, right? I know Florida as well. They don't make that much. These are hourly positions that are not meant to be life-sustaining, full-time, forever positions, and Disney says so. Those are their own markers around it. Like these are not meant to be. Now, if you want to go into professional positions, you can do that, but these roles were not meant to be things that sustained you for life. So to have this added perk was a huge attractor piece that we utilized a lot in the talent acquisition space of Disney to get people in the door. Now, Katrina, they cap it at 5,000. That's like a book at a university anymore.
It's kind of a joke, really. I mean, the whole thing is you want them to grow, and a lot of, some are coming from the college program and getting an hourly job and kind of moving up that way. But then there are some people that only have a college or a high school degree and are in these positions where they just didn't have enough money to go to college. And now they're working hard to try to save money to go to college. And the Aspire program, if they were really, really wanting to do this and get a college degree, they could do it, And now they just ripped the mat underneath their feet. And they're like, 5,000, that's it. And it makes them feel not worthless, really. It doesn't really make them want to aspire to do this anymore. It's really sad.
The lack of aspiring has now been put into effect by the elimination of so much of the heart of this program. Garrett, it's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is. And I like to think about how Disney oftentimes will tote like, hey, we've had someone, start off as a Jungle Cruise skipper and then rise to the top, go into other industry, whether it's ABC, ESPN, or even into the studio aspect, or even running the parks. Like Bob Iger, he started off as, sort of like an ABC sort of, assistant, worked his way into managing stuff then at the top, but then went into Disney. So he's been with Disney on the rise, and he had that education, and now in a more competitive marketplace you need anything you can to sort of get ahead. So for Disney to be like, hey, we want people to have lifelong Disney careers, but you're not going to be able to do it with an education, you're going to have to do it some other way. Good, best of luck. It really is not. That's no bueno.
No bueno.
That's not very nice. And Disney's supposed to be this company that inspires people, and this just leaves sort of like that a foul taste in your mouth. You're like, that chicken tender from last week, that's not sitting right with me.
It is a hard thing to witness be sort of gutted after so many years of great success stories, and again, being this crown jewel of salesmanship, being able to sell this to the general public is, look what we do for our cast members. Well, now you don't anymore. Now it's a drop in the bucket.
Look at what we don't do for our cast members.
Yep. Now it's a drop in the bucket by comparison. So disappointing move, I think, just on the surface here. Like I said, I can't understand. I haven't seen a story that really underscores the why here.
Like
I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Like what made them choose that number is what I'm
curious.
curious.
It's the taxable amount. So that's where.
Got it.
Yeah.
But,
so beyond that, it becomes the taxable amount.
But it's just, you can't buy anything with that.
I know. Yeah.
No, like,
doesn't make any sense.
Hence the greater problem with education, which is an even bigger discussion,
okay.
right? But like,
Yeah.
it's unattainable for so many because it's so expensive anymore. But it's one of those things where it was like Disney was handing it to you on a silver platter. What a great perk! What a huge benefit! And now it's just vanishing. So tough to see. We wish all of you who have been a part of the Aspire program well. Those of you who are in the middle of it, or if you know anybody who is in the middle of the Aspire program right now, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a comment, send us an email. Let us know what you're hearing from the company. I'd be very interested in understanding further where this puts you in this situation and how things will get paid out moving forward. We turn our attention to Walt Disney World now, where Epcot is moving many of their marine life creatures from the seas with Nemo and friends. As you heard in the news recap, it sounds like a manatee as well as some dolphins are heading out to Sunset, going to a completely different venue entirely in Central Florida for the sake of their own comfort. Katrina, talk to us about the opportunity for guests to witness marine life in person at the seas with Nemo and friends, and maybe some of the reasons why a family might want to make this a part of their park day while visiting Epcot.
Oh man, it's like my favorite thing sometimes. Like when it's hot outside, you just need to escape for a second. You know Nemo and Friends ride is going to be like 5 minutes. Right? And that's my favorite part is when you don't go into Nemo and Friends like from the bottom to the gift shop. You have to go on the ride first because that's the best part. And then you get your Climobile and you sit down and you go through the story of like Finding Nemo. And then at the end, there's a great big like Blue World, whatever, and the song that they sing. And then you see, and then you're like in the aquarium. Like you go through the whole little Omnimover, and then you see this huge aquarium of like dolphins. Like now they're gonna be moved, and like you'll see the fish and stuff. It's really fun to like have these like kids' faces light up, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're like inside Finding Nemo." Then you get off your little clam, and then you can go up to like the second floor. You can kind of like to see the manatee, but that's gonna be gone now, so I don't know what they can do there. But then you can kind of go see like the shark world and kind of be in that interactive exhibit at the bottom floor. And there's just like a whole bunch of things like coral reefs that you can kind of see all the little fish having their little families and doing their daily life, and you can kind of like see it. And then you can go to the air, like there's another area where you can see like little baby fish, and then you see like little baby clownfish and little baby dories and stuff, and they're so cute because I don't know what dory's called in their real
Little baby dories.
I don't know what they're really called.
Bluefish.
Are they just called bluefish?
I have
no,
I'm kidding.
But they're just everywhere, and it's just really cool to see that stuff and like let kids have that ability to view it, because I know sometimes aquariums can be super expensive to go into. So this is like another form that they can kind of just get kids out of the sun, out of the heat, in air conditioning, and then do it. And then maybe you're lucky enough to see like a scuba diver.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or Mickey. Mickey scuba diving as well.
That's cool.
I do want to make mention. Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
right through the water. Yes. I do want to make mention the manatee exhibit still exists, will still exist. They're replacing the partner that they are sending out to the other location in Central Florida. And it sounds like dolphins will ultimately be a part of the experience again.
Smaller?
But they're being moved. It sounds like there's construction going on is what they're talking about in this atmosphere, where I think the seas is going through maybe some physical upgrades. And so I think the real concern was around the comfort of these animals based on the upgrades that they're doing. And so I think
That's
the
fair.
plan was to move them out
And then
while
move them in.
while all this
All
was
right.
going on. But I think that the manatee that they are moving is so senior that it makes sense to move him to retirement, I guess, is where he's
That's
going.
sweet.
He's going to the retirement lodge. And
he's going to Golden Oak.
he's going to Golden Oak. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man,
Gonna
he
be
made a
hanging
lot
out
of
there.
money, didn't he?
He sure did. You got that right.
But yeah, there's and also the main aquarium too is like there's like sharks and like rays, and it's so fun. Turtles. I can sit there all day
It's
and
one of my.
just
It's
watch
one,
the tunnel.
I completely agree. It is
It's
a
really neat.
location that I love to retreat to. You mentioned at the top, during the heat of the day especially, it's such a cool, relaxed, dark environment because
Yeah.
you're surrounded by the water depths, right? You're surrounded by all the big viewing portals to all of the different water expanse areas with all these different creatures floating about. Garrett, it is a location that I know I like to dip into on occasion. Do you like to go talk like a turtle with Crush in there?
Totally, dude. Grab a shell.
Grab a shell.
I love the seas. I think it's such a unique place that Disney has. Epcot is my favorite park at Walt Disney World just because it stands out as, it was Walt's idea for Utopia, but it has this, it's a place where you want to learn. It's education and fun combined, which is what Walt always tried to go after. And for everyone out there, Glory is a blue tang fish.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
But
there we go.
yeah, you're welcome. But no, Turtle Talk with Crush, the show's made for kids, but honestly, the adults have way more fun there just because, how often do you get to talk to a turtle? Like, I don't do that very much. And for me, growing up in California, I love going to Monterey Bay Aquarium. And so being in Florida, I couldn't go to Monterey very much. So I would go to the seas and I'd see all these sea creatures there and just be like it's so peaceful and calm. They got some good atmospheric music in there. And you can just stand and watch the fish because, they're not audio animatronics. They really aren't. They're live fish and they live these unique, crazy lives. And there's so much science going on in there where there's so much water in there that it could fill the entirety of Spaceship Earth and then more so. Like that's how much water is in this thing. They use it for science, they use it for exploration, education, all these different things. So the seas is an amazing place.
Proposals.
It's got a place in my heart, except for the Coral Reef restaurant. That place can go away.
I mean,
Yeah,
the food's horrible.
Horrible restaurant.
But the view's really neat if you get that up close, window
like the views
seat
are
to the
great,
aquarium.
but the food is horrendous. Yeah, it is.
It's so
a
bad.
disgrace to Disney food.
It's a tough sell, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will say, that's not great.
I did a review on it here not too long ago, and got sat in the furthest back seat.
The worst seat imaginable in the
Yeah.
boots in the
It's
back.
so dark. It's like you're in a smoking lounge, like in the back, just like judging everyone. You can't even see the fish up there.
Absolutely.
I
I was
feel
more.
like there was a pillar or something the last time I was there, and it was like something was blocking my view, and I was so mad.
I mean, because that's right. The whole concept of dining in that location, that is all about that view.
Yeah,
And if you are seated in a place that doesn't have it, what was the point?
exactly.
Right? Like, what was the
Yeah.
point of going there? And I know that having been sat in the farthest back reaches of that restaurant, what made me feel bad, it wasn't so much, I mean, I couldn't care less. I mean, I got the food. We did the experience. You know, I reviewed it as such as, hey, it's a bummer if you're back here. But something I pointed out in that review was I was sitting next to a table with very young kids, and I could tell how disappointed the mother was when they were led to that seat.
Yep.
Because she was sold what everyone is sold, and that is you're going to have a killer view of basically you're going to be, you know, dining under the water essentially with this entire tank view. And when you are the furthest reaches back, especially on the corner like they were, they had an even worse view than I did.
That's especially like Space 220, like the dining room.
Space
if you
220.
sit on the very corner, like on the both ends, it is the worst view you could ever
Well, that's
see
a good
because
point.
it's like it's this weird curve, and so whoever's sitting on the far end has nothing to look at.
No.
And then the other people have, well, because they're facing towards you, you barely have anything to look at. They also don't have anything to look at either. Like this strip, it's the weirdest curvature. And I remember we got sat there like the first time we went to Space 220.
What a terrible
And I
experience.
was very upset, and the server could see our faces because we were like, ugh. And then we just kind of were like, what's happening?
What's
and
going
then
on?
finally
You're
she
like,
was like
I'm
able to move
220 miles
us
above
to another
space,
table.
and this is my view.
It was insane because it was like the dinner time one, so it was like $80 a
Even
person.
more expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
fortunately, my most recent experience there, I was sat dead center.
Yep. Perfect
so-
one.
Right, you get the greatest view when you're dead center, but this is what it's like. If you get
Don't
that
make
one
corners.
off, right? It should be thought about.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Make
paying
it a bus
for a
station
view.
or something.
A bus station.
Like
You're
a
paying,
bus or station.
You're paying for an experience where the view is the sell point. If you're sitting in a place you can't have a view, and Imagineers, whoever designs these places, they should be sitting in every seat, right, before they ever reveal a restaurant to go into play.
Please give
right?
me discounted pricing on this. It's like a obstructed hotel
absolutely.
room.
Right. Obstructed view.
It's like going to Animal Kingdom Lodge and be like, you are going to have the greatest view of all the animals, and then it's like, actually, you're in the parking lot.
Right.
Yeah.
You got the parking lot view.
Yeah.
And
Here-
it's like I paid premium price for a parking lot view. Like they should at least change the rate to at least match the experience. Like front row, you get full price. Second row, third row, fourth row, you eat in the kitchen.
You're not
Right.
wrong.
And it's like 50% off.
Absolutely.
I feel like that would be a smart idea.
It's the truth.
But then you can't really do that because it's hard to maneuver people around when they want to move stuff.
Shuffle.
And like they stay too long or
Yeah.
whatever. But I will say with the aquarium, I want to mention that if you're a person that gets a lot of anxiety around people and then just needs to check out for a little bit in like a calm atmosphere, this is the place for you. I've seen so many people just grab a book and they're like sitting off to the side on the second floor of the aquarium by the kind of like
done
the
that.
manatees, and
Yeah.
it's the perfect space to go if you just want to like check out, read a book, and like decompress for
Chill
a
out
second
spot,
to
yeah.
get back into being in a crowd on a busy day. That's the place to be.
Couldn't agree more. You feel the sensory overload when you leave the Seas with Nemo and Friends. I think about that
It
all
really
the time.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you're immediately faced
I
with
got the
stroller
chills.
land when
Yeah.
you walk out.
Yeah.
Like they
Stroller
stuff all
land.
the strollers right there in front of you that go up to the land, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just immediate chaos the moment you walk outside, but
Yep.
it is so zen worthy inside the Seas. Are you zenning it, Garrett, when you go into the Seas?
I am, because I'm feeling the Finding Nemo music. I feel it wash over me, and I'm like, hey, I'm just chilling on the EAC, the Eastern Australian Current, and I'm like, grab shell, bro. Like,
Flip back on the
dude,
shell and just be like,
just
In the great blue
just sit back,
Dude.
put some shades on,
Dude.
righteous.
just like that.
Righteous.
Fred
gotta-
in
you just
chat
gotta-
says maybe they can replace the manatee with Garrett's amazing world of interpretive dance.
Oh.
Underwater.
I would.
Water aerobics.
Is what we'd have to do.
I did swim and play water polo when I was in college, so I would be honored to. I want to be able to make my whale sounds, and that's where I pop out of the water and go. "Boom." I actually took Dory's How to Speak Whale classes, and I
Clearly.
got my summa cum laude in that.
It's a unique dialect.
It's true.
Yeah, I do the Eastern Pacific Ocean actually for that dialect.
Good for
I
you.
know the Western, but the Eastern one just felt more natural.
Well, thank you for that. If you haven't been by the Seas, you need to drop by the Seas at Epcot. It is a wonderful underwater encounter. Hope you got your thinking cap on. It's time for Disney Trivia. Let's go. Is Disney Trivia Minute time. Testing our team on some of the most historic of questions to see what their answers just might be. Here today with me, Garrett Hassel, Katrina Manzone. Off camera is producer Tony, all to talk what these answers may be to questions they've never seen or heard of. So it's the first time that they are encountering them, and their reactions will tell you as such. That is why we begin with this question out of Magic Kingdom Park in Walt Disney World. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room in Magic Kingdom at Disney World closed in what year to make way for under new management? That show that featured Zazu, Iago, and basically destroyed the original concept of the Tiki Room. We don't see it anymore, do we? There's a reason why. At any rate, what year did the original Tiki Room close down to make way for under new management? Was it A, 1998, B, 1999, or C, the year 2000?
Ooh.
Garrett,
That was nice.
what do you got for us?
So I'm going to get it wrong regardless even if I say the right answer, because that's just how trivia works. Thank you. And, I'm feeling, Prince, like going back to 1999, but I'm like, Prince, I love you, man. But I feel like this was a year that they would have done some crazy stuff, Y2K. So I'm going to go 2000 because it's like, hey, 2000, let's get crazy under new management. Let's change things up.
So
and
wacky.
then let's completely destroy it. So yeah, I'm going to say the Y2K scare happened and they made it under new management. So 2000, lock that in, Regis.
Locking it in, the year 2000. Katrina,
Yes.
Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room in Magic Kingdom, it closed at Disney World to make way for under new management. In what year? Was it 98, 99, or 2000?
The year it closed or the year it opened?
The year it closed to make way.
Oh. Yeah, I'm still getting it wrong.
Okay, let's think about this. I think Garrett's on to something. 2000.
Yeah.
2000.
2000.
It's a year that we all were scared of, but then we were okay because Backstreet Boys came out with Millennium,
Oh, right.
and everything was
Fantastic
right in the
album.
world, right?
They won it that way.
Yep,
Tell
exactly.
me why.
So I'm gonna say that they had to close it in 1999 for them to open
Okay.
it in 2000.
Whoa.
I see that.
Is that
There's a
okay?
theory.
So I'm gonna go with Prince.
All right, Prince. 1999. And producer
Looks
Tony.
good in blouses.
Producer Tony, under new management is the overhaul that came to the Tiki Room at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, but they had to close it down to make way for it. What year did they close it down? Was it 98, 99, or 2000?
I'm gonna
Tony's
say
probably
false.
there.
False, he says.
I'm gonna say because you guys are always talking about how long they take to build, so I'm gonna say 98.
98, he
Ooh.
says. Well,
This show was so bad they put it together real fast, probably.
yeah, probably just stuffed it in there in a day, right? No doubt about it. The answer to Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room in Magic Kingdom closed its doors to make way for under new management in the year of A, 1998. Congratulations, Tony.
You're
shoot.
welcome.
Wow.
I knew it was in the 90s still. I didn't.
Nice
Prince
try.
let me down. I
Garrett?
let myself down.
It's okay,
I
Garrett.
let America
Garrett?
down.
You're
I'm
like,
sorry,
oh, for
guys.
Garrett,
That's my theme song, baby. Holding it down. That's right. 0 for 12. Well, no, at the start of the year, I got 1 right, and I think that's the only victory I've had.
You should have never went on a 4-month hiatus.
right?
At least study.
That's what happens.
Well,
right?
actually, by going on that 4-month hiatus, I haven't gotten more wrong, so my numbers are slightly better.
Not
It's true.
Not a bad
It's,
concept there.
it's still
Fair
an
enough.
F. It's not quite a G, though. I haven't got that G grade.
Yeah. Clever strategy, sir. Our next question in the Trivia Minute. In what year did Big Thunder Mountain Railroad open in Disneyland's Frontierland? Was it A, 1972, B, 1975, or C, 1979? Garrett, Big Thunder Mountain, Disneyland, the 70s, what an era.
What an era indeed. Was not even a concept yet. Was not even an idea. I feel like, park opened in 1955, and back then it was exploring nature's wonderland and all that. And that's when they needed a huge revolution. So I'm going to say 75, just because 79 sounds really, really late, because I'm pretty sure in the 80s they did Space Mountain. So 75 sounds like a good enough guess for me. Like, you know what? I got nothing to lose.
Got nothing to lose, everything to gain at this
He's so
point.
positive.
He
Absolutely.
is so positive.
Best part about having nothing.
It's our optimistic goose there.
He is, isn't
He
he?
is. That's right. 1975, he locks it in. Katrina, Big
Yes.
Thunder Mountain Railroad opened in Disneyland's Frontierland in what year? 72, 75, 79.
See, I was also thinking 75 because that seems like a
Don't go-
wild
don't do-
mid-year
don't go
of
with
the
me.
70s. You know, like the decade of the 70s. Wow, like wild west.
Wild.
You know,
What the 70s were known for.
so wild. It's true.
Leisure
The,
suits.
them in their, monocolored stuff
Mm.
and just brown
They got
and tan.
bell-bottom pants,
Bell-bottom pants,
corduroy everywhere.
Epitome of style.
Wasn't that what the 70s
What the 70s were all about.
right? Just
Is that and
plain
other
icky colors
substances?
that look like vomit. I just kid. Some members gonna be like, what? Okay. Anyway, I digress. Okay, I'm gonna say 75.
Just going with 75.
Don't-
I don't
So
know
it's my
why,
idea,
but
Katrina.
it just seems like a good number, and I'm scared because
No.
Garrett answered that, and I'm like, God, it's gonna be wrong
And we all know.
Don't go with me. You never
Right.
go with my ideas.
because I feel like 79 is too
Thank
late,
you.
and 72 is like too early? Question mark. And I feel like there was just a anniversary. I don't know.
So much going on in that head
Oh
of yours.
man, my brain.
Wow.
God.
Goodness. Well,
Katrina, here's my boat. There's room for you because it's sinking.
Yep, that's it.
aye, aye, Captain.
Going with the captain.
Off she goes. First mate. Look out. Well, Tony, Big Thunder Mountain opened in Disneyland's Frontierland in what year? 72, 75, 79. We got 275 so far.
In the
Come with
70s,
us.
I was at Disneyland.
In the 70s, you were at Disneyland?
No, you
Yeah.
were not.
Tony.
How old are
That's
you, dude?
a lie.
I'm old.
No, you're
Good
not.
grief.
You're beautiful.
Oh, thank y'all. Say it again. So I'm going to say 79 just because they wanted to end the decade with a bang.
With a bang. That's a good one.
With a runaway,
I like
runaway
it.
mine train.
Yes.
Boom.
Boom, kaboom, boom, boom.
Right out of that decade. Well, we do have a winner.
A wiener.
That's nice.
Nobody picked 1972, so that's out.
Okay.
Okay.
What
Well, that's
remains
good.
is 1975 and 1979. The year that Big Thunder Mountain Railroad opened at Disneyland is 1979. Tony,
Oh,
You're
man.
welcome. I knew you caught me here.
you know,
okay.
the best part about all of this, Tony often gets it right,
He does.
knows nothing about Disney.
It's true.
No.
He's
not
here
at
to
all.
just support the production of the show. The guy is just like, he just guesses and he gets it right almost every time. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And here we
He's
are,
the dude that's
I
not.
would really bad.
Disney loving fans around here, shooting our shots and not getting
Yeah.
any bullseyes. It's amazing.
We're like
Tony's the dude.
stormtroopers.
He's never played basketball before. He shows up for a pickup game, just sinks threes like Steph Curry,
It is
and then he
true.
walks away and hops on like a moped and goes eats a taco. Like that's
wish you
that's
could.
his mentality.
You wish you could, Garrett.
Chicken taco.
Jeez. Wow.
I wish I could. I wish I had his skill. I don't.
Well, we are proud of him for always nailing it. Bravo. And
you.
thank you all for playing along at home if you did so. Stick around. There's more Kingdom Report Live for you next. You know, Walt Disney, he is seen as sort of this mythical creature nowadays, this magical man that could do no wrong. And yet, he spent most of his life steeped in failure. From heartache to betrayal to death and even a breakdown of his own. It's often said that artists are tortured souls, and I think it's safe to say that Walt Disney was a tortured soul by his own standards most of his life. Walt Disney had to do some of the hardest things any person can do, and that is convince others of unimaginable dreams he had solely in his head. And oftentimes he had to stand alone in his own visions to make them happen. He was surrounded by family, he was surrounded by fawning fans in the public wherever he went, And yet, so often he had to stand alone in his decisions and his choices. Only he understood what it was he was trying to do. He's more like you and me than I think a lot of us assume. Stand Alone, The Walt Disney Way. 10 Lessons for Harnessing Your Own Magic. A new book by me, Wade Heath. Available at Amazon or wherever books are sold. Be inspired by Walt Disney all over again.
Time for the Disney List, where we take a look at some of the best, maybe not so great things about the Walt Disney Company, this time focusing on Disney Cruise Line, specifically everything you need to know when it comes to getting married on Disney Cruise Line. Believe it or not, this is a dream for a lot of young folks and more senior folks in general. And today, we are very fortunate because our own Garrett Hassel got married on the Disney Wish. We were all there for it. We had an amazing experience. And we thought, wouldn't it be great to talk about the hows, the whys behind all of it, and how it just came to be in general. Yeah. Garrett, you chose the Disney Wish with your beautiful bride, Ariel.
Yes.
We all witnessed the fruit of that decision.
True.
Right? We got to witness exactly what it was like. Take us through how it became what it was and what made you guys decide to do it on a ship.
All right, I have to do that, but first I need to say that oftentimes the groom or the husband, they're not very involved. The wife just sort of takes over and does everything. I am proud to say that I was very involved in the decision-making process. When it came down to a lot of the really nitpicky stuff, I was really over the top on it. And thank you, Ariel, for forgiving me of that. But let's get right into it. And I've got 5 points, and each one has sort of a special name to it. So first one is when you wish upon a star. And this is sort of the pre-planning aspect of it. And this is where, you come up with the idea of hey, I kind of want to have a Disney wedding, and you work through Disney fairy tale weddings, and they have it at the parks, or they have it, on the Disney cruise ship. And we found that the cruise ship actually had more of what we wanted, with everything going on, because, we wanted a June wedding, and, the weather in Florida in June can be always amazing with the heat and the humidity. So we decided on June wedding, and we love the Disney Wish. It's where I proposed to Ariel, and we decided on that because the grand hall, the atrium, so to speak, is very magical, and we wanted to have it there. So first is you send an email off to, Disney Fairytale Wedding and say, hey, we're looking to do a wedding on a Disney cruise ship around this date. What do you have in store? And so they go through hey, here's kind of what the cost would be. Here's what we have available, because you can't have multiple weddings on the same cruise ship just because there's just not enough room, because it's certain times of the day and all that. So we, went over that, and we decided, okay, it works here. And ironically, or not ironically, but funny enough, there was another wedding on our cruise ship. They got married the day after on Castaway Cay, but they got up really early in the morning. So we were very happy to get it on the day that we did. So you're going to do that when the pre-planning. Then you're going to, meet your genie or your fairy godmother, and how you're going to customize the magic. Disney Cruise Line and the Fairytale Weddings, they send you these giant packets being hey, here's what we offer. Here's what the typical day looks like. Please go into detail as to what you kind of want to do, where you're, going through the music song, the cake, the flowers. You want these add-ons. You want all these different details. And it's either, you check it off and you go over it, and they give you several months to make this decision. And then finally, or when you're 2 months away, that's when you finally send it in, and they will let you know, hey, we can do that. No, we can't do that, based off of, say you pick a song that's not licensed to Disney, or they cannot play because of a competitor, they'll let you know. And probably the third step, which is the royal announcement, as I like to call it. This is one of the more challenging ones, because you're limited to the amount of people that you can have. For us, we can only have a total of 40 people in the party. And this could be family, friends, whoever, but every person, adds to the count, and every person has to have a spot on the cruise ship. They don't just get to hop on the boat and hop off. You are there the entire time. So for this one, we planned this well enough in advance, where we were calling our friends and family and be hey, we're doing that on this day. We'd like to let you know now. We're going to send a formal invitation, but we want to let you know now so you can book. So for our friends on the show here, I reached out to Wade, Tyler, and Katrina, let them know what was going on, and they were hot dog, let's do it. And they did the hot dog dance. And
Yeah, we did.
when you get those invites, when you get those invites done, you then are going to get their booking information and you are going to save that because you have to share that with the crew. So that way they can make sure that they're allowed to come to all the different events. So that way, your event's just for you. And once that's all done, you're finally on board the ship. You get to port a little early and you get aboard the ship early because you are, the special couple and you're going to be part, and your family and friends are going to be part of the magic. So they all get in there and you can see in the shot, we got friends and family just wandering around waiting for the event to happen. And when you get on board, you hand your suit or your wedding dress, whatever your attire is, to your wedding coordinators, and they will steam this, dry clean it. They get it all nice and spiffy for you, and that is part of the cost
Oh,
because
good.
you want to look best on your day. And they will go over the music, the cues, and all that stuff. And for mine, as you see that shot, I'm standing around there for a little bit, and that's because I'd already made up there. The song was still playing, and you just had to roll with it. And I can't really be like, "Hey, let's go to the next song," because it's kind of awkward. So you're just waiting around for your bride or your groom or whoever your partner is to come down that aisle, and you go over all this information. You're locking everything in, just the timing, and
And
that is where you
everyone's
need a little
watching
bit of-
you.
Everyone's watching you, and that's where you need a little faith, trust, and pixie dust. And finally, the last part is it happened. This is your happily ever after moment where everyone's there, everyone's watching. You got people up in the crowds, and some people like, why would you want all these strangers watching you? And it's like, I'm on a Disney cruise ship. I love this ship. I love Disney so much. I want to share in the magic. I want people to believe in, magic happily ever after, and I want them to see a Disney princess in real life. And there is my wife
Aw.
Ariel going out there, and brides or whoever is walking down the aisle, they have the choice of where they want to enter from. She's like, I want to go from the second floor and I want to be bippity boppity booed. So she got pixie dust all over her and she goes walking down the aisle. And on the day of, it's just, for me, it's crazy because you wake up early and you're like stressed out. You're like, is everything going well? Does it fit? And everything went well. I was dressed up. Ariel looked amazing. She was getting ready with her girls, getting their hair and makeup all done. And you just show up. And let me tell you, while I was, I saw everyone out there, when she came out, I only had eyes for her. It was like a spotlight on her. I was locked in and I just could not see anything else. And I was crying in there because I was quite emotional. And it was such a magical experience. So it can be quite stressful just because even though you have the Disney Cruise Line and the fairy tale weddings helping you out, you're having to pinpoint everything and you are customizing it the way you want. And you're running around, you're trying to get everyone, you're trying to greet all your friends and family. And there's very little time where you're alone because the entire time you're on stage, so to speak, because you're the stars of this show. And it's exhausting, but it's so much fun. And I say, if you're looking for a Disney fairy tale wedding, a cruise line is definitely worth it. All our friends and family had an amazing time. We had a reception in the bayou there. That's also part of the decision. We tried to have it in Nightingales, but they said, listen, there's not enough room. And it was actually quite perfect being over there because, you got Tiana and Naveen having a good time and, you're just hanging out. And yeah, it seemed like it was forever ago, even though it was just a few short months ago. And let me tell you, being there with Ariel is amazing, but being there with our closest family and friends to celebrate with us, that's really what mattered to us because, unlike, a church wedding or whatever, you just, you get to select who you want to be there. And that's what it is. And you keep it intimate, you keep it small, and you keep it special. And then when you see your friends around the ship, it's just a magical time, whether they're right next door, wandering down a hall. That's the other fun aspect of being on the ship because everyone's there, but you're not in a park. You're not surrounded by everyone. You don't have to get up at 6 in the morning or 3 in the morning or do it at midnight. We did ours in the middle of the day, but just know that this is not for everyone. It is like, if you're not a Disney person, please don't feel like doing this kind of wedding. For airline, this is what we wanted. I proposed her on the ship. We honeymooned on a Disney cruise ship. We got married on a Disney cruise ship. So Disney is part of our.
They're gonna have a
our
baby
blood.
on a Disney
It's in the
cruise
veins
ship.
right there. Yeah. Yeah. And like it's surreal looking back on it and everything because there's even an Instagram vid running around where there's like 1.7 million views on it, 90K likes, and I'm just like, whoa, people were staring at it. And some of the comments are like, oh my god, that's so magical, and other people are like, how would you want all those people looking at you? Like, don't you want to be alone? And I'm like, okay, well, sorry
To
that
each their own.
someone, you
Each
know,
their own.
yeah, yeah. You're like, no, you go, do whatever you want. Like, we're gonna celebrate the joy. And there were little girls coming up to Ariel on the cruise, being like, are you Princess Ariel? I saw you walk down the aisle to your Prince Eric, except he didn't have blue eyes. And I'm like, not Prince Eric, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow,
Whoa.
or Gaston. Yeah,
Or Gaston.
but no, it's an amazing experience. Everyone on the ship was so amazing and nice. The crew, the guests, they were all just like, congratulations, we saw you. Just want to say congrats. Like you're just surrounded by so much love and happiness, and wouldn't trade it for anything. I will note, this is more ceremonial than legal. So we did not get legally married on the cruise ship because you're docked in Bohemian waters. So this is more ceremonial, where we had our family friend Helga from Norway, who's a pastor. He married us on there, but we had our ceremony back in May. So just know that it's more ceremonial than it is more like a religious or faith-based sort of celebration. But to each their own. Disney will let you know what you can and cannot do. But I'll just say, from my perspective, it was wild and crazy. Ariel and I really didn't get a moment alone of peace and quiet without having to be somewhere until the last day. But you know, we wouldn't trade for anything. Looking back, we laugh and we loved every moment of it. And especially you know, the pictures and everything, we had that all organized. Like, I could probably go into a 3-hour long rant about how crazy this thing is, but the more detailed, the more planned you are with, like, hey, what pictures do you want to have? Hey, do you want to do a private session afterwards, just floating around? How long do you want the reception? Do you want to have first dance? All these things are in this little guide that you get to do. And from there, you just get to customize as much as you want. If you want extra flowers, it's extra cost. But honestly, the Grand Hall on the Disney Wish speaks for itself. It is beautiful, immaculate, amazing, and loved every moment of it. And yeah, it's a wild adventure. It's a zippity-doo-dah ride, but like, no, like I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Katrina was having a good time. Magic. And, you know, and like Wade was there having a great time hanging around. Like I don't know how, but Wade, I saw you everywhere. Like, I don't know if
he just
you
popped
sleep,
out of
but,
nowhere.
I mean,
He's like,
he would, like, I would be like, oh, like, you know, Ariel and I popped over
Michael
into
Eisner.
Palo Restaurant. Wade's sitting there eating, so we hung out with him. Then I'd
walk up
on the
Hello?
yeah, I'd be on the 5th deck, you know, just in the Grand Hall. Wade would be there filming, and then I'd be on the beach. Wade's, you know, doing Baywatch shots on the beach. Wade was everywhere on the ship, and honestly, like, Wade might be magic. You know, you never
he is
know.
magic.
That's what they call me.
Yeah.
It's my middle name.
But-
well, by comparison
Yeah.
of when you think about an on-land wedding versus a ship
Yeah.
wedding, I think people's minds instantly go to, and even comments here in our chat, people's mind, they instantly go to, I bet that costs a fortune.
Yeah. It actually does not cost a fortune. I'm not going to go into the numbers on here just because, you know, I want to keep that kind of private because everyone has their own budgets. But if you want this wedding, it's going to have a cost. Disney is the premier entertainment, you know, organization, but on the ship, it's actually more affordable than on land. That's what we saw. The only hard aspect of it is just making sure you have a spot on the ship. That's the most. If you want a suite versus a veranda versus an inside room versus just like a porthole, you know, there's all different costs associated with it, but it does not cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, if you want to get married in a Disney park, like in front of Cinderella Castle, that is
That's
probably
expensive.
50 to 60 grand plus. You're doing it at late at night or very early in the morning, like, you know, 4 or 5 a.m., 1, 2 a.m., like when there's no one in the park because they can't shut down operations. On the cruise ship, we did it while we were docked in the Bahamas, and it's not a small fortune compared to other weddings that I've seen budgets for. I think it's quite agreeable, and having only 40 guests with us actually made it quite enjoyable versus, you know, having 300, 500 people where you don't get a moment to yourself. 40 people, we at least had our suite to where we could run away to. And, you know, we had friends that were so supportive.
Except for
and
us, we were your neighbors. We'd knock on the door.
Tyler and Katrina knock on our door, be like, yo, we got champagne, let's pop bottles. And now we're like, we want a nap.
Like in the morning, it was so cute to see you on the morning of the wedding. Because honestly, I do agree. Like, the timing of your wedding was absolutely perfect because it's not early in the morning. It was kind of in the afternoon, but we woke up, went on the balcony, and then we're chilling and just relaxing and chit-chatting. And then I went back in to start doing my hair because we actually had Palo brunch resis at 10 a.m. So it was like perfect timing. But Tyler was talking to the little groom outside on the balcony. They're just both like leaning over, just chit chatting with one another. And I was like, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Like, and then to see your little face all glowing and excited in the morning, I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And then we went to brunch and then we were chillaxing. And then we saw the father of the bride just coming in to get his shoe shined upstairs. And then we're at the wedding. It was like the perfect timing for everything. And then to see your face, like that was the most exciting thing, is seeing your glowing face on the morning of, because we all know Ariel is going to be glowing as soon as she rises in the morning. But it was really good to see that, though. Yeah,
it was simply magical. That's the only way I can really put it. It was a dream come true. All the other Disney taglines that you want to throw in there. The Disney Wish for us is a very special ship, and Ariel and I, we love Disney Cruise Lines, especially, her family. And now our friends who went on this, they're like, hey, we booked another cruise after that, by the way. And we're like, yes, that's right.
Now they're
from that tea. Yeah. Wade's been going on a lot of, Princess and Celebrity, but we got him on Disney Cruise. I'm like, yes, come over. We have Mickey shaped waffles.
Yes.
We have Mickey bars. Yes, we do.
Very
we have special drink classes that Garrett does after not eating, and is very entertaining at.
He is, yes. Tyler and I went to a special drink creation class in which Garrett was kind of a star pupil and got picked out of the crowd to take part in some demonstrations. I didn't think you could get much more lively than what we see here on this show, but boy, do ya.
Yeah. When you have not eaten much other than the cake and a cookie, and you had a few pirate-y drinks, it's amazing what happens. And you're just, going around like, why is the rum gone? Oh, that's why.
That's stumbling into every.
I was ready to play Captain Jack Sparrow that night.
You were.
Sure.
No, I sensed it, and big thanks to the viewer that tagged our show account in that now viral Instagram reel.
Yeah, thank you.
Of the celebration and the ceremony itself. It was really a cool thing to be able to witness, that not only were we as a team there to be able to witness your special day, but now it looks like well over 1 million people have witnessed your special day. It's pretty cool to see. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you to all who watched the show here, that have seen the clip on there, that have shared it around. The more magic, the merrier. Disney has such an amazing effect on people. That's why we do this show and why we got married on the ship. So I'm more than happy to share that love with everyone and show how magical a Disney cruise can be. Yeah.
That's for sure. Are you interested in booking a wedding on a Disney cruise ship? We would love to hear from you. Let us know down in those comments. All right, friends. Well, that about wraps up this show. Thank you so much for dropping in. As always, it is great to be back with you on any weekend we can come together. We will return next Saturday for you for a new edition of Kingdom Report Live. Remember, the legacy of Walt Disney lives on because of people like you and me. See you next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, for an all-new broadcast.